Hello, Nicholas. Nice to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started to organize races?
I'm an e-health entrepreneur, and I started organizing races about 6-7 years ago as a way to market my product Challenge Eyes towards an active group of mostly runners. I mostly organize running races, but always races with a twist and sort of a wow factor where the experience is the central part and not the time. Some of my races, we don't even have time as an issue. It's a different way of running it.
Actually, you're our first customer. So can you tell us a little bit why you chose RaceEddie back in the day and how the platform has changed throughout the years?
Yeah, I mean, way back when I organized my first race, actually, I inherited a race out at Rundmara, where I have a summer house, and it was, a clock and pen and paper, and it was so stressful, and I could see it was me and my family organizing it. And then I met Eric and Yuan at a party, and they said, but we have a product that we're just launching, and you can use that. And I said, well, come out and test it on my race. And then since then, I've been a client with Race. And it's always been working perfectly, I mean, the platform has just gotten better and better all the time. So now a lot of the functions that were missing in the beginning, you have. Some of them I didn't even know I needed in the beginning, but now it's sort of you can't live without them. So no, I don't want to move any of my races to another platform. Definitely not.
Good to hear. And I think we've gotten some valuable feedback from you throughout the years also to help us improve the platform.
Yep.
So that's good. And I know that you also use the platform like sort of like a super user of the platform, because you're very well versed in the Zapier connection that we have. So if you can tell us a little bit how you use that, would be great.
Yeah, and as Zapier is like a third-party platform app, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I use it. What Zapier does is it enables me to connect my RaceID account with MailChimp, or I guess you can probably connect it with a lot of things, but I connect it to MailChimp because I have a MailChimp account where I send newsletters, race PMs, information about races, and a lot of stuff, both with Challenge Eyes and with my races. And so what I do is I just connect it. So when you register to any of my races, in about 1 minute after you register, first you receive your confirmation from RaceID. You've paid, you've registered, so that's your receipt. And then you receive a personal sort of mini race PM from my race saying, welcome, Fanny, you're going to participate in this race on that date with this person if it's a team race. And then I just sort of want to call you and say that, okay, 2 weeks before the race, you'll have a race PM. There's a lot of information on the site. And here's the Facebook group, so you can add a lot of links and stuff, so you can get people engaged in your Facebook group and everything using that. And the system sort of picks up everything that Race picks up, Zapier picks up and sends to MailChimp. So you can really personalize it with, the race, the distance, the time, the partner, your starting number and everything. And I use that information when I send out a race PM 2 weeks before. So I put a lot of information in that. So when you arrive at sort of my arena, you know where to go. You have your start number in your phone in the race PM that you just received, and everything sort of set up for you. So it's really smooth, and it means that I don't need to do anything for that period up until like 2 weeks before the race when you really start planning. Up until then, everything sort of just works on its own, which is really, really nice for me because it saves me tons of time.
Sounds like you have a great system going.
Yeah,
awesome.
And it's getting better.
Great. Do you have any other tips for organizers that wants to work on their automation and save time, etc.?
I mean, have a look. Have automations. It takes time to set up and it takes time to learn. But once you've done it, it saves you so much time, and it saves definitely the participant stress looking for information, because you're going to get them. You're going to have that information right in their hand in the second they register, which saves you time in the end. So it's worth investing some time in getting these connections to work and figuring everything out. And then my main tip is just make sure people have information and let somebody who's not a race organizer, a user, register and sort of look through your system with that from their point of view, so they really so you don't miss things like what date the race is, what time it starts. I mean, I had that question like 10 times on a race. Well, what time does it start? And I forgot to put the time, because for me, it always starts at 1. The race always starts at 1, so I didn't even put that in the race PM. Stuff like that. You can miss some pretty essential stuff. And then if you miss sort of where the toilets are, that's not a major issue, but the big ones, you don't want to miss the big ones. Just have somebody look through it, which is my tip.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay,
right.
And we'll see you on either the ARC Super Sprint or the EX Swim Run.
Let's hope so.